know, my old friend VP used to say, the guy that wins has the most fun.
Exactly right.
So Brian Scott had one of his best tracks statistically in the NASCAR Nationwide Series, chasing that long, elusive victory. Qualified on pole position for this one. He's got Ryan Blaney to his outside, Kyle Busch behind him, and Chase Elliott alongside Kyle Busch. Mile-and-a-half track, the 300-mile distance, 200 laps the scheduled go. And because of rains yesterday afternoon that canceled final practice for this Nationwide Series and Sprint Cup Series qualifying, there will be a competition caution waved by NASCAR at lap 25 to allow teams to check their tire wear and tinker with their cars just a little bit. Pace cars off, and we are ready to race in Chicagoland. To note, in the opening laps, you could see the front ends of those cars jumping up and down on camera, the bumps that BJ and Andy were talking about. And look at how wide they can spread out over this surface that's got a few years on it now. They can use every bit of this racetrack.
That's what the drivers love about this surface. It is worn out, and the driver really has to search around and find that. A couple of places that these drivers told me about that seemed to be a little worse than what they remember was the big bump entering turn 1. Going to make racing in there side by side pretty precarious at times. Carrying a lot of speed down in there. And then over in turns 3 and 4, they said it's gotten a little bit rougher than what they remembered. We'll watch how they negotiate this throughout the day.
On board Kevin Harvick.
You'd have to think that with the way Kevin Harvick performed in the car in Atlanta a few weeks ago, very similar, obviously mile-and-a-half, but the worn-out surface and the roughness of it, sure showed how things were to be done there on that Saturday night.
Little inside move. Regan Smith in the 7 trying to gain some ground. A little wiggle there. Harvick up the track.
Yeah, Harvick chasing the back of that car quite a bit early on. He didn't qualify as good as I expected to see this car.
Really loose. And I think that the lack of time on the track yesterday is probably going to have a big effect on a lot of these. There'll be a lot of adjustments made there on lap 25.
Let's see Harvick's car. I mean, you got a handful right there.
Trevor Bayne in the 6th, finished second here in the July race, and that's Denny Hamlin in the 20. Talked about him a minute ago. First time on board a NASCAR Nationwide Series car this year.